How goes it? Let's hear your explanation of the day.
Oh, well, I don't know. Let's think. Frosty like the rings of Saturn. How about that?
That's a good one.
It's a nice one. It's family friendly. Nothing to do with excrement as well, so that's always a plus.
Well, it is podcast day.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got today?
I'm curious to hear if you ran the experiment, measuring your pot size experiment.
Oh, no, I didn't do that.
Oh, that's too bad. I think the viewers or the listeners were looking forward to that. I know I was. I wanted to see if it was, you could take bets on it. Is it 10 times? Is it 20 times? Who's to say?
Yeah, I didn't do it. I was trying to think of a way that I can do it right now, but I don't think I can get my microphone into a place it needs to be
We
to.
can wait. It's okay. You just.
I don't think so. But it's bigger. Listen, it's bigger. The fact of the matter is it's quite a bit bigger.
But you
It's,
can't quantify. You need to quantify something to make it worthy of gambling for. And that's really what we're going for here. We're turning this podcast into something to do with gambling. I think that might be the next step.
oh, is that the next step?
Yeah, you can take bets on like simple things like how big is this pot or how much is it going to snow?
Yeah, it just keeps snowing, I'll tell you that.
Is it snowing where you are?
Just finished snowing where I am. It wasn't even supposed to. It's snowing so weirdly that the meteorologists are not even keeping up with it properly.
They're just like, we give up.
Other than big storms, other than big events now, like every day we get like an hour of just heavy snow and it's not anywhere on any report. And it just happens and then it leaves and it's just stupid. Like it's not a ton, but it's just it not being a ton is actually I feel like you don't know unless you drive, but the worst snowfall is not like the foot high snowfall, you know. That's the worst snowfall if you're like if you have to shovel or something like that, right? But if you have to commute or whatever, the worst snowfalls are like the 1 inch ones because it doesn't even sit on the ground right and it gets all slushy and like it's bad driving conditions. If you have a good chunk of snow on the road, it's still something for your wheels to grip and all that kind of stuff. So it's not as good as if it was dry, right? It's not terrible to drive on. But if it's just a little bit of snow and it gets slushy and all that, like your wheels can't grip. It's the worst snow if you're driving. And that's what we've consistently had.
It's like nature is just giving you the middle finger every time. Every hour it's like, here you go, you assholes.
Yeah, here's a whole bunch. Yeah, so that's what we've been dealing with.
So it is different because my sister, she sent photos of how it just kept snowing and snowing. And it got to the point where it was more than almost 2 meters, something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah, well, that was earlier this week. We had a big
So you
snowstorm
had the
come
same
through.
thing, I guess, right?
No, nowhere close to 2 meters, but it was the same system. It was like everywhere. Like Texas got ice and Kentucky got, a ton of snow and, New York got it and we got it. And actually, we were probably one of the more lucky ones because I think up in Toronto, I think Toronto said it was the most snow they got in something like 100 years. And then I know down south in New York and all those states, like they got it really bad too. And ours, we got maybe a foot.
Par for the course, I guess, where you are.
Nothing, yeah, I mean, and from being in Ottawa and that we've had years where you'll get 6 feet, you'll have the snowbanks up over your
Yeah, yeah.
up over your head, so which is I'm sure what your sister had, but not what we had.
Well, that's good. At least you didn't have to deal with shoveling all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still had a shovel. It still took a
No,
long
no, but
time.
just imagine like
Yeah.
you could
Oh
see
yeah, that
the
would suck.
the horror of having to get everything out of that snow.
I don't even know how you would do it. Like, if you had that much snow, how do you even?
You just go at it. You do what the Inuits do. You just start chipping away,
At
build an
that point,
igloo.
you build a tunnel for your car to go under, not
Oh yeah, you could do that. Absolutely.
yeah, not banks for your car to go around or over. Yeah.
That's where you become Mr. Plow. This is the Simpsons level of snow that deserves getting a plow.
Yeah, I think that's what I would have to do if we got that much. You just have to call somebody and hope that they can come plow you out. Because I don't know how you'd even begin to tackle that. I would just be like, well, guess I'm staying home for the next month. I mean,
Well, until it melts, I guess, right? The worst, honestly, for me, it's like the snow is beautiful and everything, but one of the worst things is like what happens when it melts. It's got to go somewhere, and oftentimes, if the drains are clogged up or it doesn't drain fast enough, it starts flooding. Thankfully, I guess if it's cold enough, it'll like kind of stay, won't seep into the ground and potentially flood into a basement. But if it's warm and suddenly, it suddenly becomes warm really quickly, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, I've had that in my old place. It would there was a fair bit of snow, probably a foot or a couple feet, maybe 2 feet, and it got warm really fast and rained, and my apartment, the ground floor of my apartment, flooded,
Wow.
and it ended up going like up to maybe mid thigh
Oh my God. That's crazy.
in my apartment. It was nuts because that backyard had no drainage and it tilted towards my place. The way that it all worked, it tilted towards that end of the yard. So it all came down and there was no drain, and like because it was like melting and raining and all that, like it couldn't go onto like the grass, right? Like typically, that's one of the advantages of having the grass is the grass will absorb it. Maybe not that much, but in general. And so there was no grass for it to, like there was nowhere for the water to go. So it was just coming into my apartment. And it was the night before I was supposed to go to a football game, and had to cancel going to the football game because we were up until like 5 a.m. or something trying to get all this water under control. And eventually we ended up getting a sub pump so that it could pump, so that didn't happen again. It happened once smally, but we were able to fix it really fast. But that one was a big one because I had stuff downstairs and all got ruined and all that. So that was unfortunate. But yeah, if it melts too fast, it can certainly be dangerous. But it doesn't I feel like it doesn't happen too much, especially up this way. It doesn't.
Yeah, but it's still always a concern, I think, because you never know what kind of weather you'll have when melting time comes.
That is true.
We've had here. It's been raining a lot. Today was one of the light days where, for once, I think, because every day it's been raining heavily with some moments of sunshine. It was weird. It's like, I guess because the wind is very strong. Apparently, the waves are getting up to like 15 meters or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm not close to the waves, but Jesus, I bet that's a sight to see. But yeah, because it was raining the whole time, it's just like, I don't know, you can't do anything because you never know when the rain's going to hit. And it's like a strong one. So it's like, oh, I want to go grocery shopping. Nope, not right now. Or God forbid you leave it. It's beautiful. It's sunny outside. You go outside, you get your groceries, you come. Oh, damn, it's raining heavily. So you're walking home with soaking groceries.
Yeah, I guess if you got to walk everywhere, the rain is like, to me, I don't really care about the rain. It doesn't.
No, but I just mean, like, generally speaking, it's like it's unpleasant when it's never ending like that.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, today was I was able to take out my recycling. Like that's one of the things I struggle to do when it's raining because you got to sort the recycling outside, and so yeah, I'm standing there in the rain putting things in the different containers. Oh, plastic goes here, cardboard goes here, and when it's raining, it's like, oh my God, just get on with it.
Yeah.
I don't separate inside. I'm too lazy for that.
Well, you could separate inside if it's raining out.
Yeah, but I don't have enough. That's the problem. I don't have enough, and I don't have enough containers to be able to put them in those individual containers.
Right.
It's just an IKEA bag. A paper IKEA bag, by the way. I think I mentioned this like 2-3 years ago. No, it must have been 2 years ago when I got the IKEA bag for the first time. It's a paper bag from IKEA. It was like 10 cents probably because I needed one when I went to IKEA. And it's still holding up. I've been using it for recycling for the past 2 years. It's still holding up. It's beautiful. And it's gotten wet before, by the way. It's gotten in the rain, and it's still kicking.
Well, keep using it till it dies. That's how to do it. Well, there you go. That's the weather report. Living with the weather. What else we got?
Well, my frying pan's still doing well.
That's good. That would be unfortunate if it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pain in the ass. It's, oh man, it was like, apparently it's a good one, but no, it's not good enough. No, it's been good. It's been really good. The salmon I used to make on the old frying pan, it would get to the point where it's like it was burning on top of it because no matter what you do, it's like it just sticks so badly, and so you end up getting that like layer that you can't take off. So you gotta like you lose out some of the salmon as a result because that part's burnt onto it, and then the other part's not cooked as well as it should be, and the texture is all wrong. So it was disgusting. And I thought, man, I'm just sick of salmon. But then I started cooking the salmon on this one again, and it just, it's like on butter, so it's just sliding around like crazy, and it's wonderful. So I'm back to liking my salmon.
Very nice, very nice. How do you cook your salmon?
So they sell these frozen fillets, which is like, without the skin and anything. And I'll cut them up. I'll defrost it throughout the course of the day, in the fridge though, because it doesn't have to be like completely defrosted necessarily. And I'll slice it up so it's like a stir fry size, and with frozen vegetables as well that I just defrost, like a big bag of frozen vegetables.
Oh, okay.
So I get like a cup or so of them. And then I just put some olive oil in the frying pan. I'll heat it up just a little bit, and then just, for flavor mostly. And then I'll put everything in there, and for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and it's good.
You should get fresh salmon, skin side down, keep the skin on.
Yeah, I know. That's what my dad tells me to do.
I couldn't, I'm not a big fish person. I couldn't do the frozen fillets, especially you, because you say you eat it like every day, right?
No, I eat the salmon once every 3 days. It's true, because I don't like I mean, even that's probably too much. Some people will be like, oh, once a week is enough. Like, no, I got very little variety otherwise.
Yeah, but I'm thinking I don't know. I'm not a big fish person. So if I'm going to eat something like the salmon, it needs to be perfect. So I think I'm with your dad on this one.
Yeah, I mean, at some point I'll probably try that, but I'm back to kind of liking this one. I got to a point where I was this close, because they also sell they do this with the frozen one with the skin, and I figure
okay,
I might as well try that at some point, because otherwise it's like, I don't know, you got to then make it for that day, or otherwise it's not going to be very good.
Yes.
And I like to buy it so that it lasts me.
I wonder how the frozen one with the skin would be.
How good? Well, that's the thing. I got to try it at some point, because it's the same principle, probably even the same company.
Well, but against fresh is what I mean.
Oh, how fresh is it?
Well, yeah, with the I don't know if it has the same effect, because everybody says fry it with the skin down, but they're also talking about fresh fish. So I'm wondering how it being frozen and thawed out would affect it.
I don't know if it matters that it's because it's frozen really well. Like, let's say 20 years ago, I'd look at salmon 20 years ago, and I would never buy frozen. It never tasted good. And it had a weird thing going with it when you were cooking it. Some sort of weird white stuff.
Right.
But with this one, you never get anything like that. It's literally just, once I've put it in the fridge for half a day or whatever it is, it looks just like if I would have just bought it fresh.
Oh, okay. All right.
And it, it smells and feels and everything like it's fresh. So I'm assuming that it's they perfected freezing. Let's put it that way.
I don't know if that's true, but
they did something. They did something to make it quite good.
Okay, fair enough.
But I will try it with the skin. I think I'll try that. Maybe that's what I'll do next is, the thing is with the skin, you're not going to cut it up. I kind of like it when it's cut up.
That is true. You got to fry it. You got to do it as a whole thing.
Yeah. So, because it's much faster. When you cut it up, it's just you get it in there and get it out, boom, you're done. Whereas with the skin, you kind of have to, you have to look at it and make sure it's cooked right.
That's true. But it still doesn't take a long time. I think it only takes 10 minutes. So.
You think it's the same? Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it takes very long. But yeah, you should try it. You might find that you like it more. I guess, I don't know what else you eat, but...
Nothing. I don't eat anything else.
I don't know if you find yourself in a rut. Do you mix it up a lot, or are you oh, this is what it is? Here's my 7 meals, and this is what it is.
It's pretty much that. I'm happy to mix things up, but I'm also quite lazy. So unless something, strikes me, I'm going to be doing the same thing I always do.
Right. Yeah, I'm the same way. I have the set things that I eat, and then you go one step further. You cook your stuff.
I do. Mostly. Well, one of my favorite things is that omelet.
Mine's all frozen shit.
That omelet is not frozen or anything. That's something I make every day, and I still love it. That's still my favorite meal.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I just got to keep adding to it. Eventually, you'll make it so that it's just the meal. It's so big that I can eat it the whole day, and then that's going to be the meal.
You could, in theory, have so much in there that you're oh, I'll eat half now and half for supper, and that's it.
Absolutely. I'm thinking, what else can I put in there? We got the bacon squares, cubes, whatever you want to call them. Not dried or anything. Remember, this is like good. It's as if you took bacon and you made it into cubes. And then there's 3 eggs in there. There's the potatoes, the cubed potatoes. I guess those are frozen. Those are the only things that I don't do fresh because I don't want to have to do that myself. And then I added the olives. I added the pineapple. What else can we do? Let's think.
Olives and pineapple sounds absolutely disgusting.
Hey, but it works.
So disgusting.
They're separate.
But I hate olives.
Ah, well, that's why. Well, of course, if you hate olives, you're going to hate this.
I think anything with olives is disgusting. But I don't know.
They're the green olives. They're salty ones.
I hate all olives.
Do you hate olive oil as well?
No, olive oil's fine, but like it's not like I do anything, it's not like
You don't drink the olive oil just like that?
I don't drink olive oil, so
Well, okay.
So olives and pineapple.
Well, let's think. What else can we put in there?
It's a wild combination.
The thing about this frying pan is quite deep, so I can actually keep adding layers if I want. Yeah. It's really nice.
Okay.
I can make a whole quiche.
Right. What else is good in omelets? Like I don't hear any green stuff like shallots or
the olives are green. The olives are green.
Well, I guess that's true.
Shallots. All right. Shallots is an option.
Let's see. What are some good omelet ingredients?
The thing is, I don't like buying fresh vegetables because they go bad, right?
They spoil. Yeah.
So I prefer to if you can give me something that's because I used to alternate, right? I used to have the frozen potatoes and then frozen spinach on the off days, and then the frozen spinach would be with a different type of meat, and it was also good, but the meat was it didn't. I don't know. It was too inconsistent. I didn't like it. But maybe spinach, maybe something like spinach.
What kind of meat would go good with bacon? Maybe that's what you need. You need a second meat.
Another meat.
Yeah.
Chicken? I could put some chicken in there.
That's what I thought was chicken.
I was kidding about it, but okay.
No, chicken is...
Chicken with bacon?
Last night I had bacon wrapped chicken things.
Bacon wrapped chicken things?
Yeah. They were like chicken discs.
Discs.
Round. They were like round... They were like chicken. It was chicken, but it was
disc
cut
shaped
into round discs.
It's like a spherical cow for physics experiments.
And then wrapped in bacon. So there's nothing wrong. I like bacon. You can wrap anything in bacon and it's fine.
So an ice cream bar.
Fuck it. Yeah. There's bacon ice cream.
I would have chocolate covered bacon. I would absolutely have that. I wish
there is absolutely bacon and chocolate stuff.
No, I'm sure there is. I just mean I genuinely would want to buy it, but no one sells it, so I got to make it myself. You know what? That's something to try. Have a fondue with bacon. With that bacon that I make, I'll cook it up and then just have a chocolate fondue with it.
Yeah.
Instead of strawberries. Come on. We got to be healthy here. Strawberries are full of sugar.
Yeah. One of my favorite foods is bacon wrapped scallops. Bacon goes good with scallops.
Wait, what are scallops again?
They're not fish, but they're like mollusks.
Yeah.
So those are great. I love those.
Bacon wrapped, yeah, that would be good.
You can do bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Oh, that's a good idea. I should just put some hot dogs in the omelet.
You could do hot dogs in the omelet, yeah.
Just have a layer of wieners.
There you go.
Just like one. It's like it looked like a log cabin on the side.
I bet actually what might be okay in omelets is pepperoni. Actually, we used to do that with not with omelets, but we used to have scrambled eggs. We used to do not pepperonis, but like those pepperoni sticks.
Oh, okay.
We used to cut those up and put them in our scrambled eggs.
The ones that are like jerky but are not jerky, right? I used to love those.
Yeah, hot rods.
Yeah.
That's I think the most common version of it. Yeah. So yeah, maybe like pepperoni or something would be good in an omelet. That could go with bacon, I think. I don't know. There's lots you could put the salmon in there. You could put salmon in your omelet.
Yeah, salmon with bacon.
Why not?
And pineapple and olives.
You got
and
fucking
eggs.
olives and pineapple in there.
Yeah, but those are neutral. Those are very neutral. The salmon would overpower everything. That fishy taste. I'm not a big fan of that fishy taste when it's combined. See, that's why I'm even. You know what? Even tomatoes. I hate tomatoes with eggs. Not when they're like sun dried or whatever they are. Not when the liquid is gone. But when it's like juicy tomatoes and you're having eggs at the same time, or when you're having salmon at the same time with tomatoes, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know why. It just doesn't taste good. The mixture of that juice with the eggs.
Well, it's the acid, right?
Yeah, but I'm putting pineapple in there.
That's true. Well, maybe it's just too much then.
I think it's a
Like if you
different.
took pineapple out and you put the tomato in, would it be fine?
No, I think it would still be a problem. Maybe it's because the juice is. Yeah, maybe it's because the juice is being like cooked away. The pineapple, right? It's not like there's juice in there. It's they're pretty dry by the end. So maybe that's what it takes. You got to like really cook the tomatoes until the liquid is gone.
Well, maybe if you cook the tomato before you put it into the omelet.
Yeah, but then you got to do that, and I don't want to do
Extra.
that.
I know it's an extra step. Yeah.
Now give me some frozen potatoes or give me some frozen tomatoes, and we're good.
Maybe cherry tomatoes. Maybe them being smaller and.
I do like cherry tomatoes, but then you got to cut them.
Well, that takes half a second.
See, with the olives, it's nice because I can break them in half myself. I'm strong enough. My thumbs are strong enough to be able to do that. But cherry tomatoes, no, you can't. Think about it. Like there's no leverage. They're very smooth.
It would take like half a second. You don't even have to use a fork, or you don't even have to use a knife. Whatever you're going to eat the omelet with, you could probably cut them with that.
Oh, I don't think so. I'm not strong enough for that. Not with a fork. Come on.
What else could you put in there? Mushrooms.
Oh, that's true.
Mushrooms and bacon go well together.
Mushrooms is a good idea. And they're good for you too. You know, they're healthy.
Yep.
They're fun guys too.
So there you go. We could just soup your omelet right up.
Yeah, look, we put soup in there. Why not?
Yeah, you could put some soup in there. You could do that.
A hearty bisque.
No, just take the Mr. Noodle stuff and just spread some of that in there.
Well, we don't have Mr. Noodle here.
Well, you must have ramen there.
We do have ramen, but yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you could do that. But then I need a pot to cook the ramen in. This is the stuff that you have to boil, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't have a pot.
You could do it. You could do it hard. Put the hard. My brother used to eat the. Listen, my brother used to eat. Probably still does. I don't know. Used to eat the Mr. Noodle without, like, he'd just take the packet of whatever, dump it on, to put it into the bag, shake the bag around, and then just eat the dry noodle.
It does look appetizing. It's like cookie dough.
It does not look appetizing at all.
Well, it's like cookie dough.
Is not.
It's
cookie
one of
dough
those.
Is not rock hard.
It's a taboo, but you can't help but look at it and find it delicious.
I feel like eating cookie dough, raw cookie dough, is not even a taboo anymore. Like Pillsbury, like the Pillsbury ones, they even say on the packaging, like, "Oh, you can eat this raw."
Wow, they probably got so many lawsuits because people were eating it raw back in the day, and they're like, "Oh my God, don't do that." But eventually, they had to cave and make it so that it's edible. It's like Play-Doh.
You can eat raw cookie. Like, there's nothing wrong with eating raw cookie. I feel like that's greatly exaggerated, the whole don't eat raw cookie.
Well, if you eat a whole thing of it, maybe it's not that good. Like, let's say you're making your own dough, right? Your cookie dough, you're actually using eggs and so on. It's equivalent to eating the raw eggs. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. The only thing in there that would be a problem is eating the raw eggs. But there's people that just eat raw eggs, athletes and all that right in the morning. You know what I mean? So maybe it's not good for a friggin' 3-year-old or something to eat raw eggs. I get that. But when you're in how many adults got sick from eating a reasonable amount of raw cookie dough? I'm going to say the number is very small.
But they gotta cover their ass. That's why they make it so that it's edible right on the tin.
It's like when they say, don't put Q-tips in your ears. Like,
well, you do have to be careful with that, right? If you're pushing the wax back in there, it's a definite concern. But if you're doing it carefully, then it's okay.
Again, the amount of adults that are getting injured from
no, it's not about injury.
It's
not about injury. It's just about having to go and like get your ears cleaned out because that does happen.
I think it's more about injury. Well, no, I think it's more about injury than pushing the. You're right. You can push the wax back in there, but I'm sure it's more about hurting your eardrum or whatever by sticking something in there.
Just don't use a toothpick.
Well, that's it.
That would be pretty easy to rupture, right? With a toothpick. Ugh, I can't. Just even thinking about it just frightens me.
But you can push your wax back in there. I get that. I've had my ears drained before. It's an interesting experience.
Probably feels great.
You can hear a pin, like literally, like the what you can hear right afterwards is earth shattering. It goes away really fast, but you can hear people's thoughts after your ears are cleaned out.
You become like the Daredevil.
It's crazy how much you can hear. And like I said, it goes away really fast within like an hour. But
for that hour, you're a badass superhero.
But for that hour, it's crazy. Everybody should get their ears flushed by a professional, not the shit you get on the shelves, because I feel like that doesn't do.
What if I just flush it myself though, with my own remedy?
No, you won't. You won't get it the way it needs to be gotten.
What if I use turpentine or something?
Well, no. Then you'll never hear anything ever again.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it goes one way or the other, right?
No? Well, yeah, it does. You either hear or you don't. But the goal is to not hear. So you get done by a professional. They got these great tools that I don't think you can get on the shelves. And
unless you steal them from the professionals.
You can hear God. That's...
So what if you do that every day? It's like people who get enemas, right? What if you just do that every day?
I feel you probably can't do that every day.
Probably the same as with enemas. Otherwise, yeah, you start to disrupt your natural
would
body
aggravate
cycles.
Your stuff. Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that say, oh, you shouldn't flush your ears out because it makes because your body gets used to it, and then you're just going to always need to get your ears flushed out.
Well, that's why you don't do it every day.
That. Yeah. I don't buy that. I mean, every day, absolutely. Yeah. But don't ever do it. Just, it'll come out naturally. Well, I think me doing it once every 10 years is not gonna create some sort of an evolutionary process that's gonna be like, oh, we don't need to do this anymore. So go ahead and do it. Everybody should get it done once. It's life changing.
For that 1 hour.
That's right. But yeah, there you go. So, all right. Well, to keep things on the short side, let's jump into our movie.
That's right. The Belko Experiment. So I saw that it was actually initially released at the Toronto International Film Festival in 2016, and then in 2017 had a worldwide release. So in case you're confused about the year, in case there's another Belko Experiment that came out at exactly the same time.
Yep. Directed by James Gunn. It has a massive... This movie should have been bigger than it was. To be directed by James Gunn, I think this was after Guardians of the Galaxy. And just to have an absolutely blockbuster cast. Like, every name in that movie was a big name. Even the small ones, the guys who were in the tunnels, the one was from Guardians.
That one I knew, and the other one I knew too, but I don't remember what he was in.
The one I most recently remember him in is he was in another horror movie called Late Night with the Devil. He played the starring role in that. He was in other stuff, but that's where I...
Was he the devil?
No, Late Night with the Devil. I don't know. No, it didn't have any devil in it, but...
Well, that's a misnomer, isn't it?
It's a really good movie.
It's like Devil's Advocate, and it pissed me off that it wasn't really about the devil.
Well, yep, that's not. Yep. But it was a really good movie, so I knew him from that. And the main bad guy in the building was from Law and Order, among other places. His buddy with the bald head. I can't think off the top of my head what he's been in, but he's been around the block a little bit. Like, they've all been around the block a little bit.
Yeah, no, I recognize a lot of them.
Huge cast. And I would say the only thing it had, against it, unfortunately, was I think it fell off in the second half, unfortunately. It just kind of seemed like it was like, didn't know where to go with anything.
Wait, by the second half, do you mean when everybody started dying?
Well, when they said the one with the most kills is the one that gets out. That's where it fell off, because then it was just...
Every man for himself.
Every semblance of a plot was just done. Well,
they got tired of trying to come up with clever ways. They just wanted everybody dead.
Overall, I wish it was more... It was more creative. Unfortunately, it could have been more I've seen movies like this before where you get a bunch of people trapped together and it's like, you have to whittle down the competition bit by bit. And I've seen a lot more creative ways of it being done than this movie overall. But then when they were just like, oh, last man standing, well, I'm like, what the was the rest of it all for?
Well, it's to get everybody riled up. It's a warm-up,
Well, I think they could have just went right to it. I don't know. It was a little bit of a mishmash, unfortunately, in my opinion, compared to similar movies. I think it fell off. I think that's what it had going against it. But
how would you do it? How would you end it instead of what they did? What would your suggestion be to James Gunn?
I don't know. I think you have to rework the whole movie. I think a big problem at the end was there only being one winner.
Yeah, you kind of knew what was going to happen, I guess.
Well, yeah, you knew what was going to happen, but it also ruined like any semblance of relationship, like him with the girl. It was just like, well, what's all this for if they're just going to end that? It's like, well, you just wasted my time with this subplot because now it's just going nowhere.
Well, you kind of hope that somehow they're going to weasel their way out of it, but they don't.
Well, maybe that would have been the way to end it, is a way where more than one could have walked out. Like they could have twisted it a little. Like if you had to follow the same general plot line from start to finish, then it should have been done in a way where you can weasel out of it. Like maybe some blind spots, go through the ducts or something like that to get out. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
The sewer.
Where more than one of them could have
Go through the drainage system.
Yeah, like it could have used it, that, and that's probably what would have saved maybe the plot for me is if there was more like, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, instead of just hanging banners.
Yeah, after the first like after the first like third of the movie, it was literally just kill people. Who's dying? There was never any how are we actually going to get out of here kind of thing, which I think was integral to this kind of a movie.
I did like how the main character was able to best the COO, who's apparently a trained former special operatives person, special forces. And then at the end, he manages to slyly put the explosives into each of the apprehenders' pockets, including then the ringleader's pocket, and then manages to pick up the assault rifle from one of the fallen and murder the other two helpers.
Hold on, let's go back 3 minutes before that. He put the explosives onto the people, and then somehow, without being shot and without blowing up his own explosive device in his head, managed to flip all the switches he needed to flip on a board he'd never seen before with 70 plus names on it.
Oh yeah, but he was able to, he recognized it immediately. He was like, oh, I see the names. I see my name. I'm going to ignore that one.
Well, it was a little bit crazy at the end.
I don't know. It was satisfying though. It was as satisfying as it could be at that point. I was like, man, this is horrible. Like, it's not horrible in the sense that the movie was unenjoyable, but just like, it's another one of those where shit hits the fan and nobody lives to tell the tale. It's as good as it can be in that context.
I guess if you're hoping for some semblance of a happy ending, I personally, for the ending, would have preferred if they skipped that entire part.
Just did the cube thing.
And he walked out, and then it was just what it was at the end, where it was like on the stage 2, and then it showed everybody. So it sets up a sequel nicely, because now it's like, well, part of the people are dead. Part of the people running the experiment are dead. So I feel like that's unnecessary.
There's not probably better if it just. It's probably not going to be a sequel.
Well, yeah, but they don't know that when they're making the movie. They clearly set it up to be a sequel. It would have been stronger if they just if he walked out and then it just showed the camera zooming out, and then all these other experiments were taking place, and then it was on exactly how it ended, but without that part where he killed those people.
So you would have preferred the Cube 1 ending instead of the Cube 2 ending. That's what we're saying here. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But you got to admit, though, that ending was really elicited Cube 1's ending, because it was going into the light, right? When the door first opens, it's very bright, and then they're heading out, and it's like really, really bright white light. And that's exactly how Cube 1 ends.
Yeah.
No explanation. But in Cube 2, there's an explanation.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen other movies, and I guess I didn't even think of Cube for literally any part of this movie.
That's because it's the only comparison I have. I haven't watched any Battle Royale movies.
But I've seen other movies that again are very similar premise, where I think one was like a truth or dare kind of premise, and the winner literally, the ending of the movie was the winner literally walked into another room with a bunch of other winners, and they were like, oh, now it's round 2, and that's where the movie ended, and then the sequel did the round 2 stuff. So I think that would have been a better. Like I said, if you want the happy ending, yeah, okay, he got his one up on those guys, but I thought that was kind of a jump the shark kind of moment and completely unnecessary at the end of the day.
Because you're a fan of when everybody dies, that type of thing. Well,
no, that's not true. I specifically said I didn't want everybody to die.
No, but just like if that was destined to be, you would want it to be like a proper horror movie where, yes, okay, no one has a happy ending.
The thing is, though, is that the guy with the voice obviously was already part of something bigger.
Yeah, so he was even part of the experiment. Because once they zoom out, it's like the people that are really controlling it, they're like, okay, good, that's exactly what we wanted to happen.
The point is that his role was irrelevant. It didn't mean anything that he killed him. So they didn't have, and like I said, I feel like it just, for them to do that and then to just go into, well, you're going to stage 2 anyways, it wasn't as strong of a situation as it should have been if that just wasn't there, because he was irrelevant.
Yeah, but not to the main character. It feels like he actually accomplished something.
Well, yeah, until he goes into phase 2, I guess. But
he doesn't. Again, I feel like does he hear that he's going into phase 2?
Well, I don't know, but he is going into phase 2.
Well, but he doesn't know that. So for him, give him that moment of.
Yeah, but for the moviegoer, Doesn't matter what the main character thought to the moviegoer. It's what the moviegoer thinks.
No, I'm putting myself in the shoes of the main character. I want him to be at least a little bit happy at the moment.
Yeah, but what is he? I don't know. Like, he just lost his girlfriend. He just saw 70 some odd coworkers die, some by his hand.
Yeah,
There's no happy ending here.
It was a rough day at work.
There was no happy ending. There was no happy ending in any way, shape, or form. So there didn't need to be that part because I just thought it was meaningless. Like, it's not going to make you happy because it doesn't take away what just happened in the last hour and a half.
But still, I don't know. Like, you gotta, give him something.
Well, I don't know. I don't think he needed anything. But, that's fine. If you got your happy ending out of it, that's fine.
By the way, this has nothing to do with Office Space. I don't know who thought the tagline Battle Royale plus Office Space would have worked. This had nothing to do with Office Space. And from that perspective, I was a bit disappointed. I was like, you could have put this anywhere else and it would still have done the same thing. I guess it's fine. That was the backdrop, that it was an office building. And people who were working there were just working an office job, but like it didn't have any of that. It had a little bit at the beginning of like, oh yeah, it's and a little bit at the end when they put the slideshow playing, like Belko Industries, blah blah blah, while he's smashing the special ops guy's head with the tape dispenser, which by the way is the cover of the movie, at least on the Wikipedia page. That's what he's holding up with two hands for the final kill blow.
I don't know. I thought there was, I mean, you had those two stoners who were going around and like getting rid of all the water.
True. And also getting the bombs out of the heads, which was really...
And getting the bombs out of the heads, which ended up being...
Exactly, that was the most important thing.
And I think it's one of the reasons why I like James Gunn. James Gunn is very good at putting a lot of different types of emotion into his movie. He's good at putting like some funny stuff into serious situations without taking away from the serious situation for longer than it needs to.
Yeah. There was a moment where the dog was peeing on the fence outside the perimeter. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it was supposed to be funny, but it was a pretty tense moment, I think. It wasn't like, I don't know, for me, if I'm going to watch a James Gunn movie, I'm going to watch something like Guardians of the Galaxy because I don't like that contrast. It's a balance. It's like, I don't know if this movie did it right for me, where, yeah, you can have serious with comedy. Like, remember Sinister? Remember that scene where, his wife finds out that, oh, is this the house? Oh, but they weren't murdered in the house. They were murdered in the backyard. That was hilarious. I don't know if it was meant to be hilarious, but that was one of the funniest things ever. That's how you do it. That's how you do that type of comedy.
I mean, that's not James Gunn's comedy, though. I mean, James Gunn will definitely go more overt with his comedy style than just a quick one-liner.
No, but it was fine. It was a decent movie. It wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my favorite horror movie, quote unquote, since I wouldn't even say it's horror. It was just an action movie.
Yeah, it was definitely more thriller than it was. Yeah, it was definitely more thriller than it was horror. Yeah.
Because most of the dying was either automatic. In fact, most of it was automatic. It was just their heads being blown up. And then, with a handful of executions or Molotov cocktail burnings. I thought some of the special effects were a bit with a budget, I guess you could say. But I did hear that they had clay models for certain scenes, so that's nice. I also didn't understand what the point of the corn cob creature was. Remember the little mask of the corn cob thing that he makes for his girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Like at the beginning, he makes it, it's like a little person with a corn cob body.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it. But...
And then the lady, I guess she's a cleaner. She's holding it in the stairwell. I don't know. I didn't get that, and I still don't get it.
I don't know. I didn't pay any attention to...
Maybe that was the mastermind. Maybe it was the corn cob creature.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so this obviously isn't your King of the Hill.
No, Marcel the Shell with shoes on still seems to be on top.
Right.
And honestly,
yeah.
I would rather watch like Sinister over this movie. Again, if we were saying horror, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
How about for you?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's not my King of the Hill. It was, yeah, Sinister, I think, was the better horror movie. I thought this had legs at the beginning, but I think it dropped off in the second half, and unfortunately I didn't like the way it all came together at the end. So,
well, there you go. Not one of James Gunn's finest, but it's all right.
No, I don't think it was. James Gunn's done much better.
Can't be Mr. Perfect all the time.
That's right. All right, tell us what's next.
All right, it's my turn. Let's go. Movie rankings. Random movie generator. What do you got for me? The Happening. Oh, wow. This is a really interestingly rated film. We got a 4 out of 100, a 1 out of 100, and a 2 out of 100 for the average.
Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark, man. Oh, I remember him from Uncharted.
Yep.
But this is a Shamalama Ding Dong movie, isn't it?
Yeah, I know this movie. I'm pretty sure.
2008, yeah, 2008. Yep, Shamalama Ding Dong, M. Night Shyamalan. But yeah, this is apparently a disaster. A horrible, horrible movie that I'm looking forward to watching because I've always wanted to watch it. Oh, and it's about a natural disaster, so there you go. That's great.
Inexplicable natural disaster causing mass suicides.
John Leguizamo's in it again. Is he going to be the villain again, just like in the Santa movie?
He's always a villain. That's his entire role.
He wasn't in John Wick.
He's almost always the villain. Or the comic relief.
Or both. Sometimes both.
Well, it'll be interesting. I hate this guy's movies so much.
Whose?
Shyamalan.
I haven't actually seen a single one of his, for what it's worth. I've never
Seriously?
seen Signs. I've never
You've
seen...
never seen...
Sixth Sense even I haven't seen. So I've been spoiled many, many times, I guess, of Sixth Sense. But yeah, I can't remember.
Sixth Sense is the one exception. That's it.
No, I know. That's how he got his big break, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody was in awe of him after that. But no,
Every
I've never seen a single
modern
one.
movie he's done, every modern movie he's done has been absolute junk.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because I want to see what all the fuss is about. People talk about him so much. He deserves at least a viewing of one of his films. And maybe this will convince me to watch Sixth Sense finally. Be like, man, how the hell did this guy get a job? That type of thing.
Oh, I just watched one of his movies and I didn't even realize it was one of his movies. But I hated it. Now it makes sense. Knock at the Cabin.
Knock at the Cabin. It doesn't sound like something he'd make. Usually it's a one-word movie, isn't it?
Dave Bautista. It was an apocalyptic film, and I hated it. And now I realize it was one of his movies. Old's another one. Old had this was exactly what we were just talking about with Belko Experiment. Old was one where should have been such a good movie, and it was garbage. It was where these tourists end up on this beach, and they age rapidly, and a lot of stuff happens with that, and like illnesses age rapidly and all that stuff. Had every bone it needed to be a good movie, and it was absolute junk.
I'm amazed at this guy's skill of taking a great concept and making trash out of it. So I really want to see what happens here in The Happening.
In The Happening, yeah.
Besides, it's probably a short movie. Come on, let's see here. The Happening. This Belko Experiment was only an hour 30, right? This one's also 90 minutes. There you go. This is beautiful. Look at these short-ass films.
Well, we shall see. All right, why don't you tell us what our word of the fortnight is?
The word of the fortnight this time around is dalliance. D-A-L-L-I-A-N-C-E. It's a noun, and it is an action lacking in importance or seriousness. And another definition is the act of flirting. And it comes from Gears of War 5. Gears of War 5.
Oh, when did they use that?
This was like 2 times.
It's just Gears 5, by the way.
Well, fair enough, but it's better to say Gears of War, otherwise people have no idea what we're talking about. I wouldn't know what we're talking about. But no, it's from a couple times ago that we played. I think it was one of the lore pieces. Said something about dalliance. I don't remember exactly what, though. But I just thought, you know what? By the time this episode comes out, we'll probably have finished it. So, a couple months later. But no, it was a good word, though. Dalliance. It's always nice when I look at a word, let's say 3 weeks or so later, after I just put it down, and I don't remember what it means, because even though I looked it up back then, I still don't know it. So that's how I know this is a good word for the word of the fortnight, because I'm going to forget about it.
Good enough. Well, dalliance, there we go. All right, and let's knock off the day with some Pokemon. We're almost there. Do 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 do. Anyways, we are just finding out what the Pokemon cries. Who owns the Pokemon cries we judged last season? And they're all legendaries. We don't know who they are. We judged them based on their cries. Now we're finding out who they belong to and how little we know about them, and finding out how much they're all paid content after the fact to get people to buy more DLC and third editions and all that shit. So yeah, anyways, we're on round 41. It was between 29 and 36. 29 won that one. That one was new. We already heard 36. 36 was this guy. And it
Cosmog.
belonged to Cosmog. Yep, little galaxy thing.
Galaxy Cloud.
And 29 is the one we haven't heard yet. And that belongs to the only Pokemon that's not a legendary in this competition because we snubbed him in the first time we did a tournament of things with Pokemon in it, we snubbed this Pokemon. So we graciously included him in this one, and that is Scyther.
He's become legendary by now because of all the mystery behind him. Like, who's this Scyther? Is he going to make an appearance? When's he finally going to? When will we finally know when his sound effect appears?
And here it is. This is his sound effect. Scyther has landed.
It's pretty basic, but it's a decent sound effect, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Well, hey, it won. It won this round. It won at least one round. Exactly one round, because then it got knocked out. But yeah, Scyther, a bug flying Pokemon from Gen 1, is like a praying mantis with claws for hands.
So this guy really can't wipe himself after he goes to the bathroom.
Yeah, this would be very difficult. But he also doesn't have a butt, so.
Whoa, I'm sure he does. Come on.
And yeah, not much to say about him. He was the dark horse in this competition. He doesn't belong here. The ugly duckling, the whatever you want to call it.
For what it's worth, he looks better than half the legendaries we've seen.
Scyther or Heatran?
Oh, Scyther, 100% Scyther. Are you kidding? Like that? What kind of question is that? His name is amazing too. It's Scyther. Yep, which, by the way, is just, wasn't that a word? We had that as a word of the fortnight one time. I think this was actually a type of warrior. Somebody who uses a scythe in battle is called a scyther. That was a word of the fortnight, if I remember.
Was it?
Yeah. For the same reason, I think we were like, man, Scyther's it was snubbed. We got to make it up to him. Let's put a word in for him.
There you go. So Scyther, here he is. And now we've included him, so we get past him. And yeah.
He does look good, though. Come on. You got to admit, Scyther is a good-looking Pokemon. It's one of the, I don't know. For me, it was a pretty cool one.
He is pretty cool. Never used him on any of my teams, but...
Well, it's because he's a bug, right? Usually you don't use bugs.
That's true.
Only at the beginning. What's new for me is that I didn't realize that... Because, I knew Scizor, which is his evolution, but I didn't realize that he also potentially evolves into Cleavor. Where does this come from?
Yeah.
Is that a new thing?
Yeah, Cleavor's new. He was in Gen 8, which was Sword and Shield?
Arceus, it says.
Oh, is that where he came? Oh, okay, so it wasn't even Sword and Shield. Yeah, okay, so he made his first appearance in Legends Arceus, which took place long time before Diamond and Pearl.
But he's the axe Pokemon. Instead of scythes, he's got axes.
Yeah, exactly. So Scyther has scythes. Scizor has clamps,
which is weird. Yeah, should have called him Pinsor or something.
Has axes, cleavers, and he's a much more kind of ancient looking Pokemon because he's got
looks like he's falling
made
apart.
Of stone and all that. Yeah, so kind of to fit the aesthetic of the Legends Arceus game, but he has a new evolution. They do that every once in a while, just to with the old people. Throw a few new evolutions onto Pokemon that have been around for 30 years.
Here's another reason why I like Scyther. There was an episode that was dedicated to him in the Pokemon series. It was a pretty cool one because it's like, this is the one with Tracy. And I think he catches the Scyther in the end.
Oh, good stuff. All right, on to 42. It was between 13 and 77. 77 won that one.
Well, the cough.
But we already know this one. This was Tornadus. And the one it beat was 13. This is the one we don't know who he is. That's Entei, one of the dogs.
It's the only one I know, I think, from watching the movie, or I don't know. I don't know how I know it, but I know it.
What do you mean, though?
Because I know it from the games, but I know, because there was a movie, I think. There was a Pokemon movie that had him, but not the other dogs.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, he's the fire dog, along with Suicune and Raikou. And yeah, he just looks like a dog-like thing with a kind of a mustache. Like a star. He's got kind of a star for a face. A gold, red, and white star. You can make sense of that. And kind of like a plume of smoke down his back as for fur. I like Entei. I don't think I think Suicune is my favorite dog, but
He has a nice appearance. Yeah, the other ones are kind of
very stoic.
yeah. This one seems more stoic, but also beefy. Whereas the other ones, let me just look at the other ones again. This one's very skinny.
Suicune is very lean.
Suicune that I like to pronounce it. And Raikou, yeah, also too thin. I don't know. Like, there's something about Entei that makes him look more
I think he's just
imposing.
got fluffier fur, so
well, that's probably it. Yeah,
so he looks a little thicker.
But yeah, so if you shave him down, he looks like a skinny little pharaoh cat.
Yeah, exactly. So that's Entei. Gen 2. We'll do one more here. 43. Between 20 and 45. 45 was the winner. We already heard him.
Oh, the best one. The best one.
Yep. Okie dokie. And it beat 20 out, which is this one. Which actually is not a bad sound in and of itself.
Yeah, but not compared to the toilet, though.
Oh, that's true, yeah. And that belongs to Enamorus, who is one of the forces of nature with Tornadus, Thunderous, and Landorus. One of the genie Pokemon sits on a cloud. Fairy and flying, because I guess fairy is a force of nature.
Yeah, Clefairy and...
It's just weird. The other forces of nature are tornado, which obviously is wind, thunder is lightning, land is earth, and then they're just like fairy. What's the other force of nature? It's not fire, it's not water.
Nah, that stuff's been done. Fairy tops them all.
Yeah. It's fairy. It's fairy. And it's just a pink thing with puckered lips, and its hair goes up into a heart. And its tail wraps around it. Its tail has a bunch of hearts on it.
Very loving Pokemon.
Actually, I absolutely hate the way this Pokemon
and it's 100%.
looks.
It's 100% female, so it makes sense. Like Jinx. So this
makes sense.
This is the Jinx of the new generation, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of That's kind of what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Oh, it's also being choked. It's normal form. It's being choked by its tail, so it's got something going for. It's got a kink, I think.
Well, it's like a scarf. I think it's a scarf. It doesn't look like it's choking it. It just looks like a scarf.
It's used to it, I guess. That's why it's not at all affected. And the card here, it even has heart-related things. It's the love-hate Pokemon. That's what it is. But it has one move called Heart Sign, and then another one, Love Resonance. If any of your Pokemon in play are the same type as any of your opponent's Pokemon in play, this attack does 120 more damage. So it can do up to 200 damage this attack. What happened to this game? 200 damage.
It's a game for big boys now. Yeah. That's why you got to play the mobile TCG Pocket.
Is it the OG?
It's not OG, but they've changed things around to make it smaller in scale. So it's not all inflated like it is now. Anyways, similar to what we were just talking about with Kleavor, this Pokemon made its debut in Legends Arceus. Also, the other ones that it's part of all started in black and white, so this was an Arceus edition.
So they tacked it on after.
Yep, they tacked her on afterwards. Why? I don't know. I also don't remember it in Arceus, so...
Maybe was it a DLC in Arceus, or was it just part of the main game?
No, there's no DLC in Arceus. It was part of the main game.
I was going to say, it's maybe it's an event, a Valentine's Day event or something.
No, Arceus was pretty good with... Arceus was, it didn't have any DLC, didn't have any of that. It actually got rid of all of the trading evolutions.
Oh, that's good.
It didn't have any online whatsoever. So you needed to just equip them with an item, a link cable item, to evolve those tradable Pokemon, which was very nice. And then they ripped it right back out in Legends ZA, and you have to trade to get them again. So,
because you play online, man. You got to have friends.
They learned their lesson for exactly one game and then went right back to it. Anyways, that's good. So we did a few more.
And we got to see Scyther. That's really valuable.
And we got to see Scyther.
Scyther has finally had his day in the sun.
It only took 3 years,
but
he got there.
It's all good. It's all good. We all love Scyther.
That's right. So congratulations, Scyther, and we'll see you next time.